Hello guys and welcome back to a Star Wars video from me, and today I'm gonna try to tackle the Star Wars The Last Jedi trailer. I just want to do a small discussion video on the trailer, not a reaction video because everyone is doing that. Just want to do a small discussion video, just going shot by shot, what we see, what we can expect. Just want to give you guys a quick video like that. So let's start with the first shot. Now, the first shot, the trailer opens beautifully like The Force Awakens, very similar in that way, with some kind of jump scare-ish moment, wherein as The Force Awakens, we see Finn, you see Sand and Finn in the Stormtrooper outfit just jumping up and breathing and sweating and whatnot. This time we see the ground floor on the planet, not the planet, the island where Rey found Luke at the end of episode 7. We see that, and then all of a sudden her hand, boom, on the floor, and we see her breathing as well, and a little bit of sweat as well, like she is exhausted from something. So I do like that shot a lot. So if we get to see a trailer for the episode 9, I hope this time we're gonna get Poe then. So I hope that they do it like that, like also a jump scare-ish kind of scene with Poe at the beginning. I would like to see that. I don't know why, but it's like the three main heroes have the first like scene in the teaser trailer. So I do like that shot a lot. Now, then we get a shot of the island. You see the water, you see the sun up above the island. I do like that shot. It looks really nice. The island. The island is also called Ahto or so, something like that. So and in that shot you also hear Luke say breathe. So that's the first word that you hear from Luke in this trailer. Now we don't know if that's the first word that Luke will say in the trailer, because in the movie, because as you guys know, she hands him the lightsaber, so we don't know what he says then. So we got that. Then like I said, the next shot is a better look at that Acto planet, or home of the first Jedi temple. That's what it is. This was the home of the first Jedi temple. Then we get another cool shot of Rey standing beside the sea and besides two rocks. They're in the middle of it, where the water just jumps up the rocks and it just goes up. Really, really cool shot as well. Then we get, I do think, a little bit of Rey's training first, because you see the ground floor and those little stones floating beside her hand. So I do like that she is using the Force on the ground to lift up the stone. So that's very similar to Empire Strikes Back, where Yoda teaches the ways of the Force to Luke, where Luke also has to use the Force to lift up stones. Those are a lot bigger stones. So these ones here, a lot smaller. So does that mean that Rey is just a very, like, it's the beginning of Rey, her training? Because in The Force Awakens, she just discovered her Force spirit within, like, she discovered the Force within her. So this is the beginning of her training with Luke. Very small stones, but I do like the shot. It's one of the coolest shots in the trailer. I do think. You just see Rey's hand and a little bit part of the glove and the stones reaching up. So I do love that scene a lot. Then the next scene, we see Leia, I do believe, in the new Resistance base, or just at the Resistance base, at the big hologram table. Leia, just a shot from the back of her. But you see the blue hologram of the planet and everything, or of the galaxy, everything surrounding it. So I do like that. We got that. The next shot is a shot of Kylo Ren's, I believe, helmet that is shattered. Now, some people claim that it was Darth Vader's helmet, but I do believe it's Kylo Ren's helmet, because I read in an article that Kylo Ren will get a new helmet. Not significantly new, but there are some improvements or changes to the helmet in regards to just the helmet. It changes. There we go. So we got that. And in the trailer, we also don't see a shot of Kylo Ren with his helmet on. We only have one shot, but we'll get to that. Then the next shot really interesting because at first I thought this was this giant cave where the sun is shining in on one spot, but in reality it is like a little bookshelf in, I guess, also on that island where Ray finds Luke. You get this little bookshelf. The sun is shining upon a book, and we don't know what that is, but the next shot does reveal that it is a Jedi book because we have the logo of a Jedi on the book. It's very interesting. I can't wait to see what all that is about. Also, that logo is very much like the logo that they have used on the Jedi Code, that book that they have released in the expanded universe book or legend stuff. So very interesting. Don't know what all is that about, but we go to the next shot, and that is also one of my favorite shots because we go back to the island again, another look from the outside, but this time Rey is training on we don't know what, but she's just swirling around with her lightsaber. I do like that a lot because it does remind me a lot like a shot from the Karate Kid, or especially Highlander, because Highlander also has a shot where Connor McLeod or Christopher Lambert, the actor, also trains on a mountain, and it's beautifully shot. And this, the same way, I do think it has visual resemblance to that scene. I do love that quite a bit. So that's also one of my favorite shots in this trailer. And then the next few shots, we are on a new planet, a planet that we have not seen before. And I do believe that the planet was named Crate. So it is like hot. It seems like an ice planet. Um, but I love it. It looks really cool. And the thing that we see on these shots are the new vehicles. They referred it as skimmers somewhere where I read that somewhere, but maybe not an official name. But they do have the red smoke coming out of their vehicle now. Also, it can be speculated if doesn't come out of the vehicle or is it from the ground floor, because in one of the shots where one of those like vehicles has like a glitch and it just kind of bumps around, when it is off the floor we don't have that red smoke. So I do believe that is something on the ground floor, that when they touch the ground the red smoke comes off from the ground. So I'm not sure completely what's that all about. Really cool shot though, the second shot of that with all those little vehicles and all the red smoke behind it. Very cool. Can't wait to see that. Then we go to the next shot, and that's the first shot. We get a fin in some kind of hyperbolic chamber kind of thing, or in some cryo sleep or cryo tube. Very much a resemblance to Aliens for me, especially when you see, or Alien and Aliens, at the end of Alien, where you see Ripley going into one of those cryo sleeping chambers, very similar to that. And Finn also seems to be asleep or in a coma or something like that. We don't know what's going on there. So that looks really cool. Very interesting shot there. Next shot, we see Poe in his trusty X-Wing pilot outfit running on a vehicle, and I don't know what the name is, but of the vehicle, but we see him running, and there's some kind of little explosions and stuff going on, and BB-8 also is there. So we got that. And the next shot is in the hangar of that same vehicle, I do believe, where Poe runs to his X-Wing, the Resistance X-Wing, and that one gets blown up, very much like in The Force Awakens. As you guys remember, in The Force Awakens, one of the first scenes in that film, or in the first 10 minutes, that is, the X-Wing from Poe gets blown up as well. Very similar scene, but really cool. But one of the most interesting things about this shot is you can see the front and the back of an A-wing. So we're finally gonna get an A-wing back into the Star Wars movies in the new trilogy. That's very interesting. You can see on the left side you do have the engines, and on the right side of that frame or of that shot you can see the front, and I do believe that is the front of an A-wing. So that's really cool that it is there. Really cool. Next shot, the Millennium Falcon. A very quick shot of the Millennium Falcon that gets followed by TIE Fighter, First Order TIE Fighters. Very cool, but not as effective as the one in The Force Awakens. That first teaser, that was very effective. I loved it. That was my wow moment from the trailer. I just don't have a wow moment in this trailer. It's just me. Next shot, Rey with the lightsaber on or ignited running towards something. And that might be Kylo Ren, that might be something else. We don't know what is going on. So that is really cool. And also, one of the things, Rey's lightsaber is going to be Luke's lightsaber because it seems like Luke does not accept his lightsaber back, and that is the one that she uses to train. So that's very interesting as well. But again, that is the shot. The next shot, very, very quick shot of Kylo Ren with his lightsaber, very similar to The Force Awakens, where he cuts, uh, you know, through the sky with his lightsaber, but there he is wearing the helmet. Now he's just not wearing the helmet, and you do have the scar on his face. That is a repercussion of Force Awakens, the end battle, where he got scarred on Starkiller Base. So we do have that. Next shot, very interesting. This seems like a very flashbacky scene. We see a Luke hooded with R2D2 next to him, and what we see is probably the same planet again where we find Rey and Luke now. But this is the Jedi Temple that gets burned down. We don't know what happened. But like Force Awakens, the first teaser, this is also a shot from that same scene because in The Force Awakens we get Luke that puts his hand on R2 with also some fire and kind of the same background. So now we get a shot of Luke hooded from the back next to R2, but we see the Jedi Temple get burned down. So that's very interesting. And I do hope that they will finally show that scene because we have two teasers now that have shown some of that, but will it actually be in the film? We don't know, but that seems very interesting. I definitely want to know what is going on there. Next shot, really cool, Captain Phasma's appearance. We've already heard that Captain Phasma was returning, Gwendolyn Christie. She gets a bigger role in this film, they say. I really hope so, because that was one of my most anticipated characters for The Force Awakens. And as you guys know, that is a very not non-existent character. It's like 5 minutes in the film, and that's it. But really cool shot. She is followed by First Order stormtroopers, and things burn down and explode. This seems in a hangar of some sorts on a vehicle, so we do have that. Don't know what happens. Next shot, new resistance vehicles, and these are very B-wing like esque because the cockpit does resemble some kind of B-wing. They don't seem to be very big as well, but it is kind of maybe an updated B-wing, or it definitely took some like references from the B-wing to put in here. This is like the space battle. I do also hope that we get a big space battle in this film because the Force Awakens space battle was very lacking. There was a battle on Starkiller Base, but it just didn't do a lot for me. Just there as background filler kind of stuff until we got to the main event. But I hope that we just get a bigger space battle. And then last shot, very cool. We see Luke walking through in some sort of entrance on the planet, and he says, "I only know one truth. It's time for the Jedi to end." Now, this is by far the most iconic line in the trailer. It's time for the Jedi to end. So, what does that mean? I'm very curious about that. Very, very curious about that. It's very interesting to hear because we have never, to us, it's like Luke is the hero of the story, and now he says it's time for the Jedi to end. So yeah, we don't know what's going on, but also Daisy Ridley said in the on the panel on Celebration, she said that meeting your heroes isn't always what you expect it to be. So that does reflect in this shot because maybe Luke is not a fan anymore of the Jedi ways or whatever. Maybe Luke will go to the dark side. Maybe he is like kind of an in-betweener now, like a gray Jedi which would be very, very interesting. So I'm definitely very curious for the trailer, for the film. I'm sorry, and this was just a small discussion video. This is going shot by shot, just what I think of it. Like I said, the trailer did not wow me. There's a lot of cool shots, but there is no wow shot for me. There are cool shots, but there's no wow shot. Force Awakens, two trailers that made me go wow was the first one being Millennium Falcon get chased by TIE fighters, and the music with that accompanying it was just so good and memorable, and I loved that part. But then second trailer, even better, was Han Solo at the end